What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you a few things in Black Geyser Couriers of Darkness I would like to see improve. I want to start this video off by saying that the game is going to be launching in early access a couple of days from the time of this video, and the whole point of this video is simply to call out things that I would like to see improve. Because it's an early access period, the point of early access period is to get feedback and improve. So while this might seem a little negative, I want to point out that my intention is to be constructive. Just in case a developer happens to watch this or anything, overall, I actually do like the game. These are just things I would, again, see improvement on. So the first one I'd like to bring up is actually one that I mentioned in my combat video that went up yesterday. And that is kind of clarity and readability in the stats that the game shows you. So what I mean by this is a lot of your stats and things are shown as percentages across the UI. Like your aim and accuracy or your skills with blades and types of weapons and things. Now the problem is that it doesn't actually explain what this percentage is anywhere. Now on the resistances front, I think from context you can figure out that that is 40% or whatever of that particular type of damage, and that makes enough sense. However, then you look at things like, for instance, your evasion, which doesn't seem to be affected by armor at all. There's nothing about looking at armor that actually tells you what the difference between light, medium, and heavy is, despite those items being restricted to certain classes. And while if you know enough about CRPGs, you can just kind of generally figure this out, and they do kind of telegraph the improvement stuff by showing you the changes, and green will be better, and typically speaking, these percentages, higher is better. But the game does a very poor job of explaining specifically what a lot of these percentages actually are, and what it is a percentage of. Thus, it's hard to gauge how good your character is overall, because you don't know what any of these are actually doing. Now, the second area I'd like to see improvement is the load times. Loading times right now are very long. Like, the game runs well enough. There's no issue there. However, given the relatively simplistic design of this game, I am admittedly not versed enough in game development to explain exactly why these loading times are so long, but I would tell you that resource-wise, this does not appear to be a very demanding game, so I'm a little confused about why a game installed on an SSD being run by a 9900K and a 2080 Ti is taking a minute plus to load in some instances. Now again, I don't know enough about, honestly, just loading times in general and how all that works behind the scenes to really suggest any improvements, but overall, I would say that I definitely would like to see the loading times come down because they are noticeably long, even on the high-end PC that I'm using to record this footage and also make these videos on. Now the last thing I want to mention as an area of improvement is the AI options for your companion. Currently, as far as I'm aware, and as far as I could tell, there are no AI options. You do actually have to, for the most part, manage your party of five's actions, which is, for the most part, standard CRPG stuff. So that by itself doesn't bother me. The issue is that a lot of these characters will just stand around and do nothing unless you manually tell them to go attack something, or they were actually attacked first. They won't even just auto-attack once they finish killing something and then switch to a different target most of the time. There's a lot of just issues there where it seems like the characters don't even want to do basic attacks against an enemy. So honestly, just any sort of scripting or AI commands that would help, so I literally don't have to manually point each character at a target to get them to do anything. Even just getting them to auto-attack as you start clearing out enemies and things would be pretty useful. Because it can be frustrating when you're in a fight and you notice 2 or 3 of your people just got done killing something and decided to just stand there instead of, moving on to attacking something else. So this is probably, in combination with the stats readability, the most important change I would like to see. And the loading times themselves are more just an annoyance than anything else. Because again, the game plays well, it just takes a noticeably long time to load. So there you go, guys. A few notes and places for improvement for Black Geyser Couriers of Darkness. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. But regardless of any of that, truly, thank you so much for watching. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.